Chapter 22. Rhys. Approximately 1 hour later, a loud knock sounded on my office door. "Come in," I yelled before standing up and greeting the Alpha pair. "Nice to see you again, Alpha and Luna Matthews." I motioned toward the seats in front of my desk. "I hope your cabin accommodates all your needs." "You call that a cabin?" Luna Matthews snorted. "It's the size of our house, and trust me, our house is huge." I laughed. "I see. Do your children enjoy it?" She nodded. "By the way, your mother is a wonderful woman. I can't believe how nice she is. Or how quickly she found us." Alpha Matthews chimed in. "You weren't kidding when you said she really loves babies. I hope she didn't give you any trouble." I winced. "She has the nose of a bloodhound, and I'm convinced she uses that nose to sniff out babies." The Alpha pair laughed. "No trouble at all." Luna Matthews smiled. "In fact, she was a big help. I would have had to stay with the kids if she didn't volunteer to babysit them for me so I could attend this meeting." I groaned. "Good luck trying to pry her hands away from them. She's probably on her way to the adoption agency right now to legally adopt them. By the time we're done with this meeting, I'll have a pair of new siblings." They laughed again before turning serious. "I suppose we should get down to business," I sighed. "Firstly, tell me the information you have and then I'll tell you what I have. We can go from there. I just want everyone to be on the same page and have no miscommunications." Alpha Matthews nodded. "We were just visiting my parents for a while. Usually, whenever my sister hears my car pulling up on the gravel road, she races down the stairs to be the first one to greet us. When my mother opened the door to greet us, I became immediately suspicious. I told him there was nothing to worry about. Maybe she just didn't hear us this time or was busy at the moment." Luna Matthews grimaced. I agreed and decided to give it a while. "After all, my siblings are teenagers," Alpha Matthews said with a chuckle. "Anyways, after an hour of not seeing my siblings anywhere, I decided to ask my mother where they were. When she said they were in their rooms, I became worried. It's not like they couldn't hear us. We were talking loudly and Serenity was crying nonstop. There's no way their ears didn't hear us. So, I decided to check on them." Luna Matthews said. "I was walking upstairs when I saw they both slumped on the top stairs. And here we are." Alpha Matthews said they'd been out of it for 5 days. He pierced me with those dark green eyes and I sighed before standing up. "I think it'll be best if I show you." I motioned for them to follow me as I made my way down to the infirmary. I began to talk about what I knew so far as we exited my office. 2 days ago, at approximately 6:30 p.m., a pack member found 4 of my closest friends slumped outside of the pack house. I was called into the infirmary where I found them all passed out with bandages on their arms. When I inspected their arms closer, I found that they had deep gashes which I presume are claw marks on their skin along with severe burns. As I was speaking, I felt the Alphas grow tenser and tenser. I opened the infirmary door and nearly groaned when I saw the ruckus that was going on in there. Mia was yelling and repeatedly poking the scared doctor with her IV stand. Matt tried to get closer to her, but every time he moved, even if it was just a little step, she would whack him with the metal stand. He whimpered and backed away before she turned her full attention to the doctor. "Have you fixed my friends yet?" "Poke him." "And no, ma'am," he stuttered. "Poke, poke, poke. When are you going to fix them then?" "I don't know," he whimpered when she poked hard. "Out of my control. I had enough, Mia." I growled, releasing a little bit of my alpha power to the pack bond. Get back in bed. Chapter 23. Kassi and I woke up to loud whispers coming from the hall. "Bloody hell," I murmured into my pillows. "Can't a girl get some sleep around here?" I went to pull my pillow over my face when my hand caught air. I sat up when I finally realized where I was and why I was here. "Bloody hell," I paused, taking in my words. "Why the heck am I saying bloody hell? I'm Greek, not British." The whispering increased. "You can't keep me from my family." An unrecognizable voice pleaded. I finally found them, and you're keeping me away from them. I inched closer to the door but then froze when I heard a very I don't need to tell you anything. I glared true, but I'm not legally a child. I turned 18 a month ago. Do you pay bills? This time I raised an eyebrow. What? Answer the question, he said seriously. Do you pay bills? No. Have your own house? No. Does your mama still claim you on her taxes? Yes. Then by me standards, and all the standards of the parents in the world, you are in fact a child. Therefore, I don't need to tell you anything regarding my business. I glared at him like there was no tomorrow, willing him to catch on fire or something. Did the doctors come in while I was sleeping? I spat out. He nodded. The boy should be ready to go soon. They just want to watch him for a little longer before he officially gets checked out. I stood. I'm going to the cafeteria. I'll be back in 15 minutes. If anything happens to him, I won't hesitate to stuff you. Aren't you going to ask me if I want something from the cafeteria? Did you offer me some coffee earlier? I smirked when he became quiet. Plus, you're the adult here. Don't adults usually bring back things for the children? I swung open the door before closing it to him, chuckling quietly in his seat. That will be $9.95, the board cashier said from behind her register. Geez, I muttered before taking out a 10. That much for a water and a small plate of food. Look, I don't make the rules. I'm just here to take your money, the cashier snarked as she gave me my change. What a rip-off. She shrugged. I was about to reply when my phone started ringing. I quickly made my way toward the exit, knowing that I would not be able to get any reception in the damn hospital. I nearly dropped the rip-off investment I call a meal when I saw my mother's number flashing across the screen. Finally, I hit the accept button before firing off questions. What the hell, Mom? I've been trying to get a hold of you for ages. Where are you? Something happened. Silence. I checked the call to see if we somehow managed to disconnect, but no. The signal's strong and the seconds continued to accumulate. So, Mom, you there? Silence. Mom? Click. What the? I redialed, and when I did, I nearly dropped my phone. The number you have dialed is no longer in service. Just then, screeching car tires sounded as a black truck exited the hospital parking lot. Hey little wolfies. Chapter 24. Rhys Theo. I gasped for air as I collapsed on the grass beside the river. Caden stood over me laughing as he propped his sword against his thigh. What's wrong, pup? Caden taunted. I thought you were the best. You are the alpha, aren't you? I never said I was the best, I growled and jumped back up. My third is the best at anything that has to do with weapons or combat. She'd take you down in 2 seconds flat. He raised an eyebrow. She? I nodded. Yeah. She's the girl still sleeping in the infirmary. That little thing? He asked incredulously. She looks like one of my daughter's doll. I laughed. Yeah, she might look like one, but trust me, she's no doll. Or princess. Or anything girly. And I'm guessing that boy next to her is her mate? I nodded. Sean. He's human and they've been best friends since he was adopted by an older couple in my pack. He was bullied a lot because of what he is, but that never stopped Everly from becoming his friend. Eventually, when they turned 16, it was a shock to everyone that they turned out to be mates. Not because there wasn't chemistry, because trust me, there was, but because the daughter of one of the most strongest wolves in our pack, and my father's beta, was mated to a human. Something no one thought possible. Why did everyone think it wasn't possible? Caden frowned. It's 100% possible. Hell, I'm married and mated to a human. I chuckled. No offense, Alpha Caden, but over here, things don't work the same as in Cali. It's not like my pack hates humans. Quite the opposite. It's the fact that we haven't had a human/wolf mating in over 2 centuries in our pack. How is that possible? You would have to have had at least. I shook my head. Nope. Not one. Many of our pack members leave the pack temporarily if they haven't found their mate by their 16th birthday. Think of it like a spiritual journey, but instead of finding inner peace and solace, you find your significant other. I grinned. Once they leave and enter a new pack's territory, state, or country, they end up meeting their wolfie mate. But, you never went on this spiritual thingy? Why? I don't know. Something was telling me not to go. At the time, I shook it off because I was the alpha's son and my duty was to stay here and help my dad, but then I realized that it wasn't the case. I sighed. Funny enough, a lot of people thought Everly and I would end up as mates because our parents were alpha and beta, but fortunately that wasn't the case. Caden laughed. Harsh much? Nah, Everly is a pain and needs someone with much more patience than I have. Sean is exactly that person. He has the patience of a saint. I chuckled. You don't know how badly we were praying to the moon goddess to not make us mates. Every crazy ritual there was, we tried. I'm pretty sure we almost summoned a demon after one particular ritual. I laughed and Alpha Caden joined in. So you never asked why you never met your mate before now? I know if it was me, I would have went crazy. Oh, trust me, I did. I wondered every day why this freaky thing happened to me. I went to go talk the pack elders, but they didn't understand it. Either I got in fighting position. Now are we gonna talk or are we gonna fight? Caden smirked before attacking me. I blocked his attack and his smirk widened before I felt the sting in my rib cage. I looked down and saw yet another blood stain. I glared at him before it lifting up my shirt and watching the slice disappear before my eyes. What remained was a pink puckered line. Caden attacked me again, so what does being mated to a royal mean? I countered his attack before lunging for him. I don't know. She has the ability to control all the wolves in the world. Caden said you must be able to do something. I shrugged and blocked. I don't know, and I really don't care if I can do anything special. All I want is my mate. Powers be damned. Caden laughed and moved quickly toward me. I barely had time to raise my weapons and block his attack.